Okay, the back seat of a surveillance vehicle is pretty important. A lot of investigators prefer to conduct surveillance from the back seat. First of all, your windows are usually are allowed to be a darker tint, the back windows, and you're just able to conceal yourself a little better from the back seat. However, one of the cons of conducting surveillance from the back seat is that if your subject takes off, departs, you've got to find a way to get to the front seat in a hurry, and there's a little bit of a delay there. So there's pros and cons either way, but there's no one right way to do it. There are some situations where I do it, where I hop in the back seat. There are other situations where I prefer to sit in the front seat. A couple things about the supplies that you need in the back seat. Always have a pillow with you. A couple reasons. First of all, you might need to spend the night in your vehicle. That happens in this job, okay? It's nice to have a pillow. But another important reason is having a pillow allows you, when you're rolling film, to rest to prop your arm up. There's times when you need to roll film for 15, 20, 30 minutes at a time, and you don't have a tripod, and you want your film to be steady. Remember, the quality of our film is how our clients judge us. And if the video is shaky, and we're going to talk more about this later, but the video is shaky and unsteady and unfocused with a lot of obstructions, it's a bad reflection on us as a company. It's how people judge an investigator. So have a pillow to help support your elbow, to help prop yourself up, to help stabilize your shot as much as possible. Very important. Every investigator should have something in their backseat that helps kind of change their appearance. Just the other day, I worked a case where the subject came out of the hotel, and I saw her in the hotel lobby, and she looked at me, I looked at her. I had a gray shirt on. She went to her car. I had to go to my car. She got a good look at me. And I got to my surveillance vehicle, and I was driving behind her, but I instantly put a hat on, put some glasses on, and I changed my shirt. I got a different colored shirt on when I was driving and following her. So I was able to change my appearance, and sometimes a little thing like that can make a difference. You always want to be able to just subtly change your appearance with a different colored shirt, put a hat on, or vice versa. If you were wearing a hat, take your hat off, and wearing glasses. A couple important things. You should have some binoculars nearby. You can keep them on the ground. They don't come into play a whole lot, but every once in a while it does come into play where you could use binoculars, and it's nice to have them there when you need it. Another couple things I keep in the back seat. I always keep a sweatshirt. You never know when you're going to be out, and it could get a little cold. I keep a dark towel. There's a couple reasons why I try to do that. Sometimes it'll just give me a little bit of extra, the ability to kind of conceal the sun coming in from a certain window. Another reason is sometimes I'll put my camera up on the dashboard, and I'll just kind of let my camera sit here, and I'll wrap the towel over the top of it, and I can still roll film without sitting there like this. So it just can come into play. It's good to have a towel in the surveillance vehicle. That's pretty. Oh, you want to have some paper towels because you want to be able to clean your windows. That's critical. Cleaning your windows, having clean windows, and having your vehicle prepared in terms of fully gassed up is a really important part of this job. I'm gonna show you what I put in the trunk too. Okay, it's really important that there are times when it can come into play that you might be staying overnight. So it's your responsibility to have an overnight bag. I always keep a duffel bag in the vehicle, in my surveillance vehicle, and you should have it's really important that you go out and you go to Rite Aid or some type of a pharmacy or convenience store and get yourself prepared with shaving kit, some soap. You never know when deodorant, just your toiletry bag, because you never know when you might need it. I also keep in the back in my trunk, I'll keep a blanket, just in case you got to spend the night in your car. It's nice to have this. And thirdly, a lot of this stuff is optional, but recommended. Now, this is really great because this can give you a lot of power. A lot of people take these camping, but as a surveillance investigator, if you're going to be doing a lot of surveillance, it's important that you have something like this that can give you power. It's a light, it's an air compressor, and if your battery died, you can charge your own battery. It's like $100 at Sears, and it gives you like a lot of power for a long time. So, in a nutshell, the surveillance vehicle should be prepared. All of these things are not required, but they're recommended. And like I've been stressing in the past, you never know when these things are going to come into play. You never know when you're really going to need these supplies. So it's always best to plan ahead and get your surveillance vehicle prepared and supplied, and it'll improve the quality of your work, increase your value to the company, and improve the quality of our surveillance for our clients.